Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we are going to make some beautiful paper flowers out of our scraps. So this is another great way to use up all of the scraps that you put aside when you're doing some projects. I literally turned around and grabbed this out of my scrap paper holder, and we're going to make some beautiful flowers. So over the course of a couple days, I was sitting back here at my desk and just had YouTube running in the background and came up with several different ways to make these paper flowers. So some of them I use punches for, but I will tell you that even though I use a punch, like a heart punch, super easy for you just to draw a heart and then cut it out and use that as a template to cut out more of them. So even though I will use a punch, it's totally not necessary. Some of the other things that I will use, this is a 1-inch scallop punch. This is a 1.5-inch circle punch. Now with this 1.5-inch circle punch, this is actually one of the ones that I used for the 1.5-inch circle punch. The lady that I watched do that one, she actually used a quarter because the quarter is about a 1 inch, and I liked the way that hers turned out better. Mine's a little bigger than hers, but it turned out really cute. And so just get a quarter and draw a whole bunch of circles from the quarter. This one is probably my favorite when it comes to the bigger flower. And again, this is just a whole bunch of 1-inch circles layered together. So I'm going to break these down for you and show you how I made each one. I think they turned out cute, and I think this is a great way just to sit down with your scrap paper and get together a whole bunch of paper flowers, put them together, and that way when you're doing your beautiful projects, you have a bunch of flowers to choose from. And of course I've got some gems here. I used some stickles. I always have my stickles laying next to me here on my desk. I always have my gems right here. And what else do I keep next to me here? I've got
washi tape.
Yeah, but no, I don't necessarily use washi tape in these. You could. I mean, for this one I did like a little, a little frilly thing in the middle. You could use washi tape for that, I'm sure. So let me get started. I'll pick the first one I'm going to do and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so for this first one, I'm going to show you how to make this one. It's very pretty. It's a larger one. This is done with the 1.5-inch circle punch, but again, you don't have to have a punch. I'm just using a punch because it's quicker and easier, but again, just take a quarter, draw a whole bunch of circles. I'm going to use 9 of them for this one.
Hi guys.
Hey,
Is
bananas
my
over
hand
here.
even in it? Oh yeah, it's okay.
Yes. Okay. So we have 9 of these circles. One of them is going to be the base. The other 8, we are going to cut down the center. Do you have my scissors?
Here you go.
Okay, so for the other 8 of these, you are going to take one side and just cut straight up to the middle. You see how I'm doing that? Lots of. We're going to do that 8 times. So now all we are going to do is, see, they are split apart like this. I probably shouldn't have done black. That was kind of silly, wasn't it? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this little split part right here, see? And we're going to simply put one side down like this, and we're going to put some hot glue right here, and we're just going to fold it. And it looks like a little disc. I don't know if you can see it. I should not have used black. See, it turns out to be a little cone shape. That was a bad
So it's
idea
like a
to use
petal?
black. Yes. So see, we've got this part. We're going to put some just the tiniest bit of hot glue because I don't want to burn myself.
Which happens often.
And then we're just going to drag this over and
Oh, I thought you were making the big
That's
one.
it.
I was like, whoa.
see? It's just a little cone shape. Okay,
Oh, you are making
see? I wish you could see better, but you can't because I'm a boob and I used black. All right, so we're gonna do that for the other 8. Okay, now you could leave these just like this, and you could do the project with them circular just like this, but I particularly like to pull them out to a point. So what you're gonna do is you're going to take this little area that you glued like this, you're gonna put your thumb on it, and you're just going to make a point, right like that. See, you're just pulling it into a point like that. So you take the area that you glued together right here, put your thumb on it, and you're just pulling this to a point. Okay. And you're just going to do that for all 8 of them. And this one's just the flat one because this is the bottom. Okay, so now we have all of these shapes that look like little petals. Okay, so now we are going to start fixing them to the base here. So we're going to take the base and we're going to put a dab of hot glue on the base here.
It's the dab.
And we're going to make sure that the pointy part, of course, points out. So there's your first petal. Okay. And then you're just going to go around the circle, filling in the little areas. And you're going to do this 4 times on the bottom here. And the first couple times that I made this flower, it was very awkward. And it wasn't even, and you know what? That's okay. So I think the most important part for this flower is that this last petal gets tucked up underneath. See how that comes underneath this first one that you put on, but then above the last one. You see how I did that? So make sure it goes over this last one and underneath the first one. I think that that's really important to make it look like a bloom. So underneath the first one that you put on, oof, get it in there, but then above the last one that you just put on. I think that that's important to make it look like it's a flower blooming, okay? So that's what you've got so far.
Oh, it's very pretty.
Mm-hmm. And then you're just going to come in here and you're going to point these towards the middle. So in between these 2 points, you're going to put this one. So you just don't want the points to be facing each other. So see, there's a space right here. You want to make sure that one gets put right there. And then there's a space here. You want to make sure one goes right there.
So many hot glue strings.
I know. There are so many hot glue strings, but that's okay. And then just hold it a second because we want all that hot glue to dry. We don't want any of this to come apart. I really shouldn't have used black, you guys, but I did. Sorry.
The background kind of has black in it, so it's like flames.
Well, you just can't really see like the edges and the details of the flower, but I like black roses because I do.
They look cute.
They do. They're very elegant, I think. And you know what? I don't think we need 8 of them. I think we only need 7. I think 8 would be too much. Yes. I think 8 would be too much. We're going to stick with 7. So that is the rose. Now, of course, you've got a big area right here, so you're going to want to put something really pretty in there. And I just so happen to have a large gem. You could put a bead, you could put a button. A button would be pretty. You could also put, I have these large sequins. Let's try a large sequin. I like gold.
Ooh, gold and black, yeah.
And gold and black is very pretty. And then we could also come in with some gold. I like that.
Stickles.
Gold stickles. Yes, I like that idea. Okay, so let's put this in here.
I have green ideas.
Yes, you do.
You could really put anything in the center.
You could.
You know, Dollar Tree has those like gem flowers. That would be cute to put in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Or the gem butterflies, or
That, and then let's run some stickles in here, maybe around the center there, to give it a little, I don't know, dotty effect around the center. There you go. Pretty.
oh, it's very pretty.
So there you go. There's that first one.
Those would be cute to put on like the front of a
Okay, the next one we're going to do is this next large one. Now this one takes about 13 of the large circles. So I'm going to go ahead and just punch 13 of the large circles out of this paper right here. Okay, so now I have my 13 pieces of circle cut out. I had to use this, what's it called? It's not paper, it's more of a thicker paper. Anyway, I had to use that because the paper kept getting stuck in my punch. So anyway, I got my 13 ones. So again, I'm going to put one aside. And I'm going to take these, and now I'm going to do a little something different with these. So again, the lady that I saw, she used these fancy little tools that I don't have.
that I don't have.
Because as usual, I don't have fancy tools. So I just kind of do with what I have.
She uses like a marker.
So I do have a dotting tool that I could use. This is what I used last time. It's a little dotting tool. Looks like that. It's actually one of the bigger dotting tools. But you could use a marker. And what you want to do is, I use my hand. She had like this foam board something, and she went right around the edges just to kind of give the edges a little bit of dimension. See how if you push down, it gives the edges just a little bit of dimension. See, it kind of cups it up a little bit on the edges. Just gives the edge just a little bit of a curve. Gives it a little bit of like a lip. So you're going to do that with 12 of these circles. It reminds me of like a paper plate. See how the bottom looks like it's just a little bit lifted. So they look like little mini paper plates. So we're going to do that with these 12. Okay, so now all of them have this little curved edge to them. They all look like little miniature paper plates.
Oh, they're so
And
cute.
we're going to start with 3 of them, okay? So we're going to start, this one we build from the inside out. The other ones we built from the outside in. This one is just going to be from the inside out. So we start with 2 side by side. And then the third one right here. And I need to get my phone out of the way before I get hot glue all over it. Okay. So how you build this one up is generally the same way you built the other one, except we built from the outside in. This one you build from the inside out. You just fill in all the little spaces. I love him. You just fill in all the little spaces. So you want it to peek out just a little bit, just like that. So you put the glue on the bottom here. And you just have it peek out just a little bit in between each two areas. And what you're doing is just making the petals bloom. Just peeking out. I mean, technically, you could stop this at any point, I guess, as long as it's even. Like, this right here is even now, and I guess technically you could stop it right here because you've got a little circle. I mean, you could put a center and call that done. I mean, that would be kind of cute, but we're going for bigger and better, so we're going to keep going. So now we do, again, in between these two spots, we're doing one more layer. Just make sure they're all peeking out the same amount because you don't want them to look uneven. And I always twist it to make sure that I've got it faced up, and that reminds me of where I am because it can get confusing. My husband's talking to the guinea pig. And now he's blowing his nose. Are you serious?
All right, I'm out of here.
Okay, right here. Oh my gosh.
Rewind.
I mean, you couldn't gone into the bathroom and did that or something? I don't mind you being home, but I mean, you could have very easily walked into the bathroom and blew your nose. Okay, so we got one more left right here. Okay. This is so cute. I love you. Flower.
Yeah.
Now that he's gone, I can finally talk. My goodness. I love him. I really do. Okay, so we're making the inside of this little piece here. I just did a cut of this glittery paper, and now I'm going in and just cutting every other one off to make this, you know, little thing here. And I'm just gonna slice each one down the side so it'll look foofy, I guess. I don't know. Foofy, is that even a word? Foofy. Okay. just bending these around a little bit to make them look kind of, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so that can go in the center. Yeah, these look nice. Laura Vernals. Okay. Froof some of them up. Froof some of them up. Okay, so now we're going to put this in the center. And then I'm going to go in with some gems. Where are my gems? Oh, who knows? I'll get some new ones. No, I'll get some new ones out of here, silly girl. No, I'm not going to buy new ones. That's not what I meant at all. Here's some there. And I will put 3 in the center. Actually, I'm just going to put 1 in the center there. I think 1 looks nice there. I don't want to overdo it. I think that looks really nice. So we've got a beautiful flower. You could take these and bend them up a little bit if you wanted to. Bend up the edges a little bit. Give them a little bit of separation. You don't have to bend too much, of course, but... And it is very cute. There's those. All right, moving on. Next one. So those were our 2 big flowers. Okay, I didn't really make a lot of big flowers because I just didn't. I don't really prefer big flowers because I usually do notebooks and journals, and that's where I like to use cards. That's where I like to use these smaller flowers. So this one right here, super duper easy. Now I have a punch for it again, but you don't have to have a punch for it. I have this multi-punch right here. I got it back when I first started crafting. I don't even remember where I got it from. That's how long ago it was. So it's got all of these, and what I usually do is I will take a strip, because I don't want to waste all of them by punching all of them. I will take a strip and slide it in the one that I want. These are all 1-inch punches. So I'll slide it in the one that I want to prevent wasting paper. This is the one that I'm going to use. It's just a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petal flower. You can get a template online. If you just look up 5-petal flower, you can get a template online, or you can just freehand it onto a piece of cardboard and use a template for it. So I'm going to punch 2 of them. This one is super simple. And this is the one I feel like I would probably do a lot of them in lots of different colors, because I feel like this is a super simple, super cute little flower that I would find myself using a lot for projects, for cards, and I feel like it's on the flatter side, and that's why I would use it. So for me personally, maybe go around and give it a little bit of dimension, maybe the bottom one, just a little bit of dimension, and then the top one here, I would give a little bit of dimension in the middle, okay, to get it to curl up a little bit. But then what I did was I went in with my my, what are these called? Tweezers. And I just bent the tip of it back a little bit because that reminded me of the way a flower blooms open. You don't have to do this. You can leave them both flat, but that just gave it a little bit of dimension for me. And then you simply put some hot glue on the top one. I always try to stagger them. So don't line up the flower petals. Make sure they're coming out at different areas. Push it down in the center. Grab yourself a rhinestone. Throw that in the middle. And seriously, like, how easy was that? And it is super cute embellishment for a card, for journals, altered notebooks. Is that not so cute? And so I would do these in a bunch of different colors, in different ways. Like this one, I kind of built up a little bit. I made it a little bit thicker, but I don't prefer that way at all. So I would stay with the flat version of it. But super cute to have around. Do them in a whole bunch of different colors. Lay them out in a, maybe put them in a container, you know, a storage container, and that way you have a whole bunch of flowers to choose from when you're doing your journals. All right, moving on. This one is the same idea, concept of that. Look at that, I've got hair all over me because I'm losing my hair. Welcome to 40. Actually, I'm gonna be 42 this year. But anyway, this is kind of the same idea. What I did, these are both the same. What I did was, instead of a flower punch, if you have one of these punches, what are they called? Scallop. If you have a scallop punch, you can kind of do the same thing. And I'll show you how I did this real quick. So, let me grab this one. So again, I just used two. 1, 2. And with this scallop, all I did was I went in and cut every other scallop piece. Okay? So that way, I just had these little tiny petals to work with. See how it leaves this little tiny one right here? And then those become the petals of your flower that you're working with. You just want to make sure you don't cut too far in to where you disconnect them from the center. See? You got that? And then you do the same thing. You're cutting every other one, every other little scallop you're cutting off. And that way you're left with this little, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're left with a 7-petal flower. Okay, so I'm going to do the same type of thing. I'm going to kind of go around the middle, give it a little bit of dimension. Take this one, go around the center a little bit, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Whoop. I'm going to just kind of bend these leaves down a little bit to give it a little bit of dimension to look like it's kind of popping up a little bit. And again, we're just taking a dab of hot glue. Make sure that you line it up so your petals are offset from each other. Okay, you don't want them to match up. You want them to offset each other. Like that. Okay, and you're just gonna hold it there. Now with this one, I went in and colored the end of the tips to give it a little bit with a little bit of marker. With this one, I went in and did some stickles to give it a little bit of glitter. You can do anything with these. If you want to maybe cut out, I don't have any green paper, but if you wanted to cut out maybe a green leaf, glue it on the bottom there, that would be pretty too. And of course, let's not forget to give it a rhinestone center. So that is that one. Make a whole bunch of these. Again, put them all in a little container. Maybe divide them up by color, and that way when you're working on a project, you say, oh, I need pink flowers. Okay, so you go over to your pink flowers. I need white. I need something with a pop of red in it. I need something with purple in it. So these are great. All right, these next two, these are the same. I just did 2 of them. These are super cute. I love these. These are made with a heart punch, okay? Super simple again. If you don't have a heart punch, that's fine. Draw a heart and cut it out onto a piece of cardstock, however big you want. Now remember, however big you draw the heart is going to reflect in how big the flower is going to be. So I have, this is probably a 1-inch punch, maybe 1.5 inch. But, you know, however big you want your flower to be is going to reflect in the size of the heart that you draw.
She actually used to do that. She actually just used to draw it and then cut it out.
I did. Before I got these punches, I used to draw all of my circles, all of my hearts. I used to draw all of my shapes before I got punches. It just took a long time, but you can do it. It just takes longer. Okay, so let's see. We've got a scallop punch as the base. So let's go through and do 1 scallop punch as the base. Okay. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 hearts. So our base, we've got our hearts. So to put this one together, super simple. All we're doing is we are folding the hearts. Now, depending on what you want to see on the outside is how you're going to fold the heart. I want the colors to be on the outside, so I want to fold the heart with the colors on the outside. You're simply folding the heart in half, just like that. Okay. Line it up the best you can.
Yourself?
I saw a lot of these online, but
It's kind of like you saw them and you were like,
I did. Yeah, I just took a whole bunch of them. Yeah. Took a whole bunch of online ideas and did them.
You kind of just like mixed them all together.
We have all of them folded. So what we're going to do is we are going to start putting them on here. And the only thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that they all open and face the same way. So see how this faces this way? You need to make sure they all open and face the same way. If you want it to face this way, great. Start this way, but you have to continue all around opening and facing this way, otherwise it's going to look weird. The reason I know that. See how this one looks nice and floofy? And they all open and face the same way. See how this one doesn't? See how it's kind of awkward because this one open faces this way, this one open faces this way. Okay, so it does look different. It doesn't look bad. This one just looks better in my opinion. Okay, so let's do it.
Open and face this way.
And the way that I get them all to fit right on this circle here is I do the opposite method. So I'll put this one down and then make sure it faces the right way. So it's going to open that way, and then I'll go ahead and do. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to glue it, and it's going to be like that, and then I'll glue that one down. But you see how I took it and I said, okay, well, if it's going to open that way, and then I just brought it right around to match up right there. So that's how I make sure that they are evenly spread out. And so then I'm going to do this side. So I wanted to open this way, so I want to make sure it goes like that. So I'm going to apply the glue. And it's going to open that way, like that. So then I'm going to do the opposite of this one. And this is just how I do it. I've seen these be made before, and they don't do it this way. They just start laying them side by side, but I would be a mess because I would run out of room. I wouldn't know how close to lay them. So see how I'm doing that? So for this one over here, I want to make sure it's all lined up the same way. So I'm going to spin it this way. Okay, it's lined up there. I want to make sure it lines up here. Okay, and then we're going to start filling in the blanks here. So this one is going to go right in between here. And I really like how open that is, how open all the hearts are. You can squish them down if you want. They don't have to be that open, but I really like how open it is because I like that it has that color there. You can see the white underneath. These really look really pretty with double-sided paper because you get to see the top and the bottom. You get to see both sides of the paper. And then, of course, I'm going to, guess what?
Glitter.
Put a center. This time I'm going to use, what do I want to use? I'm going to use a jewel. Ooh, a pearl. Look at that. That's so cute. A pearl. So this time I'm going to use a hot pink pearl. What are you doing over there? And I'm just going to plop it right in the center. I don't want to ruin the openness of any of those, so I just want it to kind of set. I don't want it to like ruin my 3D effect. So that is that one. Isn't that super cute?
Am I okay?
There you go. Those were those. And I have one more to show you with the heart punch. This one right here, I'm not going to go into. This one is a rose, but really all it is this one right here with the sides really twisted up. Like I took the sides and I twisted the sides down like this to look like rose petals instead of to look like a big flower. See that? And so that's all I did for this one. So if you want to do that, that's all you have to do. You just have to change the shape of the petal. And I think I did 3 layers on here instead of just 2. So I'm not going to go into that because It's just changing the shape. Look, I'll show you. You just take the petal and you twist in on each side to change the shape of the petal. And you do that with each petal. That's all you're doing. You're literally changing the shape of the petal to make it look more rose-like instead of like a daisy, you're making it look more like a rose. You just have to be really careful because you can rip the paper and then you have to start all over again. So you have to be very delicate with it. But do you see how I'm just bringing in each side to make it look like a rose? And then you layer more of them on there. Not just 2. You would layer probably, I would say 3. See? So that's all you do. You just change the shape of the petals and then maybe put like this one, it just has like a little, you know, a little piece of paper that I rolled up as a center. That was it. So this is the last one I'm going to show you. Again, it's using the heart punch, but it's a little bit different. So we've got a base and then 6 of the heart punches. All right, so for these, I like to use double-sided paper, and I like to divide these up and do 3 one way and 3 the other way. So these I'm going to fold with the pink side out. I'm going to fold it in half just like the other one, but then I'm going to take it a step further and I'm going to bend these out like you're making a paper airplane. See, you take the sides and you fold them out so it's like a little paper airplane. You see how I did that? A little paper airplane. Okay? So I'm going to do it again with the pink side out, fold it in half, and then take the little corner and bend it out. See? And then flip it over, take this corner, bend it out so it looks like that. Now with these 3, I'm going to fold them the opposite way where this side comes out, because I like to give it a little. Yep, I'm almost done. Okay, now that I have them folded, I am going to start laying them out. So I take it, put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom there, and I'm going to glue it down. Now I don't want to smash it because I still want that dimension there. Okay, I still want that heart to be a little bit, you know, I want the dimension. I wouldn't have folded it if I didn't want the dimension. And then I like to follow the same thing where I put one here and then the opposite way. Ooh, I see a beautiful blue cardinal outside. He is so pretty. Is that a blue? That's a blue jay. Not a blue cardinal. Cardinals are red. He's like checking me out through my window. Okay, anyway, moving on. All right, so, oh, I want to do the same. Is that what I want to do? I want to do the same this way? Yeah? Yeah? Right? No. Because this is going to be, I don't know. Maybe I want to do opposite here. I'm going to do opposite color across from it. So, I'm going to put this one down across from it. Oh, I'm running out of glue. Time for more glue. Look at how disgusting this glue gun is, you guys. Isn't that gross? I should get a new one, huh? Too bad I'm on a spending freeze. Okay. So, see, we're just going to lay it right across there. See, and I'm just sticking the bottom. I'm not flattening it out. Ooh, ooh. All right, and then I'll do one on this side. And then one on this side. Ooh, 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 ooh. And then, what are we gonna do? Squish these somewhere? Here, we're gonna put these, I guess we're gonna put this like that. And then this one's gonna go here. No, this one will go over here. And then this one will go right there. So we're just filling in the blanks. These are not going to turn out perfect. You know why? Because they weren't made in a factory. That's kind of what I love about handmade items, is that they're not perfect because they're not made in factories. Kinda is what makes it so special. So when they have defects, they're kind of like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. All right. So you can fluff out these little sides as much as you want or as little as you want. Cute, cute. Oh. Okay. And then I'm going to grab, that really doesn't match that. Let's do, that doesn't really match either. Let's do a white pearl. We're gonna do a white pearl here for the center. Blammo. Super cute. I like it. That is so pretty. Look at that. Didn't that turn out cute? So that is how you do that one. I really like how they turned out. They're really pretty and they just turn out so cute. And now we have all of these gorgeous flowers that we can randomly pull out and put on journals. We can put them on cards. We can put them on, how about those paper handbags? Have you guys seen those yet? Look up paper handbags on YouTube. Those are super cute. I might have made, did I make them? I don't know, I might have made them. We can put them on, what else can we put them on? Altered composition books, yes. So all of these are at our disposal at any time we want them now. So how cute is that? I am gonna wrap up this video. It's been super long, but I enjoy doing these. Turn on your favorite Netflix series or whatever you're doing. Oh, I forgot my black one. Hello, that's like the center of the party here. Look at how beautiful it is. Turn on your favorite Netflix series, turn on your Amazon Prime series, turn on your TV at night, whatever you are doing, and just go to town punching out these things. And then when you're ready to sit down with your hot glue gun, start assembling them. And there you go. You have all these beautiful flowers that you can use. So I hope that you stay tuned for more Use Up Your Scrap videos. Make sure you subscribe to Chaotic Mom. Hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any videos that I upload. I will see you in my next one. Bye.